I drive a lot. We're going on road trips, going on camping trips, going off-road, all kinds of stuff, but I'm behind the wheel pretty much every single day, which is kind of crazy because I don't even have a commute. And luckily, I've been very fortunate that I've never gotten in an accident. I've never really had a situation that has come up where I've needed to document footage and make sure that I have everything in check because of, an accident, a fender bender, or anything worse. Luckily, that hasn't happened for me. Actually, now that I think about it, that's not exactly true. When I first got my license back when I was 16, I did kind of slightly kiss the bumper of someone's car in front of me, but nothing happened, so I didn't need any documentation, or we didn't, exchange insurance or anything like that. Nothing happened, but that's all I've had in my life, and I'm fortunate for that. But I recognize that I'm in the minority there, and with how much I drive, it's only a matter of time before something happens. And making sure that you can, have that fully documented, make sure you know exactly what happened, I think is more important than ever. And the best way to do that is with a dash cam. Now, back when I had my Tesla Model 3, that had cameras built in and was able to record everything, and that kind of spoiled me a bit. I took that for granted. But now that I don't have that car and I just have a regular, gas car that doesn't have that much tech built in, not having that camera has been a big miss. So when Vantrue reached out and wanted to send over the N4 Pro and sponsor this video, I decided to give it a shot because this seems like the perfect solution for a dash cam that gives you high quality and really great coverage. Because without both those things, what's the point really? So this is a 4K 3-channel dash cam. And what that means is that first, it's 4K, which means it's high quality. I'll talk about that more in a second, but it's also 3-channel, which means you have 3 different camera angles as an option. So not only will it see in front of the car, but it can also see inside the cabin, and you can even add a camera for the back of your car to see back there. And this gives you pretty great coverage, and with each of those angles, you're gonna actually be able to see what is happening because of the good quality. Now, probably the most important thing with a dash cam is being able to actually see what's happening around you. If you ever do, unfortunately, get into an accident or something happens where you need to have that documented, you want to make sure you can see what's happening. And this is using a true 4K sensor, which means you're getting really high quality imaging. This is using the latest Sony Starvis 2 sensor inside. So not only are you getting that 4K image quality, but you're also getting great quality for both low lights and really bright conditions. So no matter when you're using this, you're going to be able to capture what's in front of you. And I think the most important aspect of this is being able to read license plates. If, for whatever reason, something happens in front of your car and you need to see what car was involved, but you can't read the license plate, it's kind of pointless. And as you can see here, this has no problem being able to capture the car in front of you, and you can read that license plate no problem. In fact, there is a mode built in called Plate Picks, which is made to enhance the look of license plates. Again, that's really important. So if something ever does happen, at least you'll have that documentation that is clear as day. And because of that sensor, another great feature is that when it gets dark, you still have great image quality, as you can see here. And I know a lot of people do their commutes at night right now because of the time change. So, it's 5 o'clock and it's pitch black outside. This camera can still pick up your surroundings and what's going on, which is super important. And this is thanks to their HDR Super Night Vision along with that sensor from Sony. So when those are paired together, it's just one of the best looking dash cams I've ever seen. Now, I mentioned that this is a 3-channel camera, and that's because that main sensor, that 4K sensor, is not the only thing that's built in. There's 2 other camera options. So one is facing inside the cabin, and the other you can attach really anywhere, but it's meant to go in the back of your car to see out the back in case you, get rear-ended or something like that happens. And these are both 1080p, so you're getting high definition on each of these cameras. And again, this just really comes in handy when, the unfortunate happens and maybe you get rear-ended or you get into a fender bender, something like that happens, you know that most of your car, pretty much the entire thing, is being documented and it knows what is going on. Everything gets recorded to an SD card. There are voice controls. You can, click different buttons to start a recording or stop a recording. There's a nice big LCD screen so you can actually see what the camera is capturing and make sure it's working exactly the way you're looking for. I mean, everything about this is high quality and is made to really function well. And with those additional camera angles, I mean, this is great for just documenting anything really. So maybe you're a Uber or Lyft driver and you want to make sure that, not only you, but your passengers are safe. This is a great option for that because it can capture the inside of the cabin. Or maybe you're just going for a drive and you want to record, and this is an easy way to do it because it's already attached to your car. Having all of these different camera angles at high quality, it just comes in handy in many different ways. And another really big way that these angles would really come in handy is with the 4 parking modes that give you 24/7 protection if you turn it on. So with this, you can set it to record in a few different ways when you are parked and not with your car. So the first is by motion detection. So if it detects something going by, it will automatically start recording, and you can set the sensitivity of this so that it doesn't happen with every single thing. But if someone's like really snooping on your car, looking what's going on, this can record it. There's also probably one of the more important ones, which is collision detection. So if you're in a parking lot and someone backs into you and they take off, well, it's going to record it because it's going to detect that bump and, have everything documented. So even if, the person didn't stay to leave a note or anything like that, you should hopefully have their information. And then there's also a low frame rate option and low bit rate options. And this is just great if you're parked for a longer period of time and you don't need to record every single second. This can kind of just help mitigate that storage space, which is nice. But for most people, you're not driving your car all that often. Most of the time, your car is just parked. So if you're not recording what's happening during that time, you could potentially be putting yourself in a sticky situation. So being able to both record while you're driving and while you're parked is a nice feature. And camera aside, this has all the smarts I think you'd hope something like this would have built in. So it has GPS built in, it has mileage calculation built in, so it knows how much you've been driving, which would be great if you're someone that uses that for tax purposes. It does speed monitoring, and that's all baked in so that if you say you did get hit and someone's trying to blame you for something, not only can you say like, no, this is exactly where it happened, here's the coordinates, you can also say, here's exactly how fast I was going, and here's the video of it happening. Plus, there's 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi and an app that you can use to monitor all of this stuff if you wanted to. So really, this has every single feature built in that I can think of. You get really high quality cameras, you get different camera angles, you get parking features, and you get these smarts built in. If you're looking for a dash cam system, well, I can't really think of what else you would need built in. It can detect the world around it and it records it in high quality. And that's about all I can ask for. So if you want to check out this, learn more about it, or pick one up for yourself, especially right now for the Black Friday sale, there's about $100 off on this thing, which is a great deal. I'll leave the link down below in the description. But yeah, driving around right now without protection and possibly getting in an accident and something happening, it's just not worth it. So I think it's worth checking one of these out.